Keep this in mind. And keeping it with Vedanta, let's go across to Nisha, who's in conversation with the Vedanta management. This will be an important one.
That's right. Thank you so much. And yes, a good set of numbers, very, very strong set of numbers coming in for Vedanta because of the metal rally that we are seeing all across. So record numbers when it comes to revenues, EBITDA, margins, profit as well as profitability. The company also said that they are also looking at the cost efficiency, which is boosting their performance further, and the outlook that is given is that of very positive momentum for many quarters going ahead. We have with us Ajay Goel, who's the Group CFO at Vedanta, to take us through more about the performance and the way forward. Ajay Goel, always a pleasure to welcome you on NDTV Profit. Now, you have been firing on all cylinders. Street seems to like it. In fact, there are many upgrades also coming in from brokerages. What are the key highlights of the last quarter's performance in your view?
No, indeed, in fact, the third quarter has been a defining quarter for Vedanta. And across all key matrices, revenue, EBITDA, and the PAT has been historical best by a big margin. What are the building blocks? Yes, the pricing remains lofty and elevated. It is all led by the demand, and supply catch-up will take at least 6 quarters. That is how it works in metals and mining industry. At the same time, Vedanta's focus remains what we can control. So we have been augmenting the volumes. Our huge focus remains on the cost compression and how do we move our portfolio from basic towards value added. So it is all focusing on the basics, volume, cost, and the marketing premium. And of course, pricing is helpful. That led to record-breaking numbers for Q3.
Of course, Ajay, and this, of course, has carried forward with the momentum of the metal rally that we have seen. How is it looking in terms of the present quarter performance that you are seeing, and the kind of gains that you have got in the last quarter? Is that sustainable in this particular quarter as well?
Our earlier guidance in terms of EBITDA for the full year has been about 6 billion. And looking at the first 9 months and outlook for the fourth quarter, we are in fact more than confident we'll be beating that guidance. So on the full year basis, our EBITDA will be more than 6 billion. In terms of tangibility of the results, as I mentioned, the demand-supply gap is reasonably will continue in the near future. And in that case, the pricing will remain elevated. At the same time, Vedanta's investment in the CapExes will lead to better volumes and the lower cost. So we do see Vedanta delivering results better than the current fiscal in near future.
So Ajay, you did briefly mention about the demand-supply mismatch and what is aiding the elevation in the prices. What is the commodity outlook, price outlook for you, and especially with aluminium as well as silver being your biggest portfolios for the next few quarters?
One of the Vedanta's key strength remains its portfolio and its diversification. And you will not find many examples world over, India not even remotely close. Which also means our key businesses, which is aluminium, which gives us almost 40% profit, and zinc, almost the same value. So our 80% profit come from aluminium and the zinc. Then, of course, we got Zinc International, we got power business, we also got oil and gas, and many more. The growth lies in the smaller businesses, and the large businesses, in fact, do continue. If I look at pricing outlook, we believe aluminium will remain in the near future quite elevated. It is a demand-led growth. At the same time, I also like to underscore that Vedanta has advantage of home demand. In India, the demand for aluminium, zinc, silver, in fact, most commodities is much higher than the global peers. At the same time, the consumption per capita is increasing. So we do foresee over next 6 to 8 quarters, the pricing across commodities will remain high.
All right, very, very bullish commentary coming in on the commodity prices. Take us through your debt repayment schedule and the updated lowering of debt mechanism that you are now following.
Sure. You may have seen even in the third quarter, debt has gone down sequentially. At the same time, the most important metric from debt viewpoint remains net debt to EBITDA, our leverage, and which has improved from 1.4x last year, same quarter, to almost 1.2x in the Q3. And as we close the fiscal by March end, we see Vedanta India's debt to EBITDA will improve to almost 1x, which means our EBITDA will be equal to, if not bigger than the debt. 1x leverage put in the context in the Indian and the globally is a benchmark in metals and mining industry. So deleveraging remains a priority, and in the current fiscal, Vedanta as a group will cut down the debt by almost 1 billion.
All right, and at the peak of silver cycle, Ajay, also Hindustan Zinc's OFS is going on. How's the traction and usage of the funds?
Zinc India has been India's most valuable stock. And right now, we went for OFS a couple of days ago, and our base, the demand was almost 0.8%. The demand, in fact, is quite strong. We have seen almost 1.33 times the subscription, which is in fact quite broad-based, both from retail and the institutions. So we are looking at offloading almost 1.1% stake that lead to almost rupees 3,000 crores of cash. This cash will be used for deleveraging. This will be additional and the fast tracks deleveraging. It also lead to value accretion pre-demerger.
All right, Ajay, also finally update us on the demerger, large demerger process that you had announced. What are the timelines for the listing and what is the progress made?
One of the substantive approval has been NCLT, which has been secured around December 16th. And with that, there are some internal requirements. Example remains recasting the multiple balance sheets. How do we allocate debt from the current Vedanta multi-business monolithic into 5 companies? With that, couple of more statutory approval. They all are processes. They are quite doable. With that, our target is to go for demerger date effective from 1st April. And by 15th of May, we will have all Vedanta companies get listed. So it is between April 1st till middle of May.
All right, and finally, Ajay, also budget is just around the corner. What are the expectations building from a large conglomerate like yourself?
Vedanta, in terms of national security on the resources, is very important. And Vedanta is a company for the country. We have been saying whatever is good for the country is good for the company as well. In terms of budget, perhaps more allowances in terms of self-certification will lead to fast decision-making. That is what we expect from the government. They were doing it quite a bit, but I'm sure more can be done in near future.
All right, manufacturing boost is one of the very important aspects. Thank you so much, Ajay Goel, and all the best for this particular quarter as well. With that, we'll slip into a short breather on the show, but on the other side, we'll get you the top trading strategies for today.